Having a style of illustrating where people from just one drawing can know it's yours seems pretty tempting and dreamy, doesn't it? Art style consists of objects you like to draw from people, animals, places, scenery, foods, brushes or techniques you like using, your own color palettes, whether you draw realistically, cartoony, and much more. You don't have to draw just one thing with just one brush and only one color in order for that to be your art style. I am going to show you how to create and nurture your own style based on examples of mine and my story, and also how I still make changes to it and experiment. The first step is to choose media you want to create your art on. Have in mind these things: what media you know using, what you'd like to learn, which media seems like you will have the most motivation to work with, and sometimes if it's a costly one, can you keep up with expenses? Maybe you like watercoloring, gouache, digital art, color pencils, markers. Just choose one or a couple that suits your needs. For me, I like to draw digitally on my iPad and using Procreate. Once you buy an iPad, Apple Pencil and Procreate, which is one-time payment of $13, you basically have no expenses unless you're buying digital brushes to install on the app. I like all the possibilities I can have with digital drawing, control of the stroke, colors, canvas, and I find it easy to use and easy to learn. After that, think about your preferences for a second and make a list of two things. First, what you like to see other people draw, so basically what sparks joy. And second, make a list of what you like to draw, aka what you find yourself draw most of the time. For the first tip, you can help yourself with going to a social media platform you're using like Instagram or Pinterest and search for some art or look up your favorite artists online. A little bonus tip for you is to make art inspo board like I did on Instagram, so you can analyze your drawings and favorite artists so that you can know more about yourself and your style. Then from that you can analyze what kind of motifs do they have, what techniques are they using that you like, and are they using certain colors that you enjoy seeing. Write all that down and just see what is in common with everything. Then think about yourself. When you're drawing, what do you draw most frequently? Search your sketchbooks, doodle, etc. Also, what do you find yourself trying to draw, but you keep deleting it because you don't like the way you drew it? And now you already probably see a pattern. Like in my case, I really enjoy watching other people draw animals, especially woodland ones, and I generally like drawings that include cottagecore vibe, and that is what I mostly draw. I love drawing deer and foxes, but with foxes I'm still struggling a little bit. And as you can see in this example, this is like my cottagecore sticker sheet. Discover this pattern that I mentioned because that is going to be your specialty and what you will be known for. Now, if you already know what you like to draw but you're not satisfied with results, I suggest you to try harder, learn and practice, because believe me, it's worth it. Another great tip where your art will be recognized as your own is to basically choose your color palette. As you can see, I already have mine. And I'm going to show you how to create this in Procreate. So you basically go to this part at the corner and then click add a new palette. You can do it from the photo, or you can do it from like the other art that you had, or maybe from other people's art. And then it's going to create the colors for you. And of course you can additionally customize them. Before, I used to have such a different color scheme, I will show you later, but now I discovered what kind of colors I like using, and I have a lot of palettes, and of course not just one simple color that I use, but these are kind of my colors and I use them in my art, so I hope it is recognizable then that it is my art. There is this really cool website, it is called Coolors, which basically allows you to create color palettes and choose and also export your palettes to wherever you want, and then you can create multiple color schemes for your projects. You can of course color pick the colors from your image as I'm doing right now, and then create the scheme that you like using. And of course there is this like hex code with the whole website that allows you to put that code anywhere else, for example on Procreate. As you can see, you can save your own palettes, you can save them generally so that you can always access them. And I don't know, it is just a really fun website, especially when you need to inspiration of the colors. Also, find brushes that you will use, whether digitally or traditionally, because certain strokes and also textures consist of your art style. On the screen, I am showing you what brushes I use and where you can find them on Procreate, and those are basically the only 3 brushes that I really use, and 6B pencil is also just for the sketching. And I don't know, I kind of developed this as my style. I experimented a lot with brushes, and I guess those are my kind of brushes and the ones that I am using. This is all trial and error, guys. I experimented with almost all of those Procreate brushes before I actually found some that I really like using, and those were the ones that I opted for the most, and they stick to me. And with those brushes I actually created my own art style. Now let's just take a quick look of my Procreate time-lapse of the way I am drawing. As you can see, first I lay down the basic colors and the basic strokes with the script brush, and then I also added something little bit like texture with the gouache brush, and again I continued with the script brush. I had my color palette, this is like my color scheme, and I just continued very simple lines and strokes all the way until I just tried to mimic the image that was like my inspiration. And this is basically my kind of art style. Not all the illustrations that I do are the same, but they all have something in common, as I said, like my own color scheme, the strokes, brushes that I'm using, and also motifs that I'm using, and that is what is making it my art style. Some people, when they think about art style, they think about just drawing one thing all over again, same way, same colors, and same blah blah blah. But no, that is not art style. As I said, it consists of a lot of things, but whether you like draw an airplane or a book or a person, people will be able to know that it came from you because you have some specifications that are only relevant to you, and that's why it's really important that you can like try to practice based on other people's art, but never replicate them, because it's gonna be their art. That's not gonna be your art. You're only gonna steal someone else's hard work and everything. But of course, at first practice, watch, observe and everything, and then try to make it your own. Make your own scheme, find what you like drawing, have some kind of special quirks on your drawings. For example, I like to add those special little stars everywhere, or I also have a certain way that I draw eyes on the animals. So that is kind of my thing and what makes me different from all the other people. I guess what I'm trying to say as a conclusion, and I'm going to show you with my own example, is that you do not give up. Sometimes it's going to be hard, it's going to be so difficult, but do not give up. Just try out stuff. Try out different techniques drawing, like digital or traditional, whatever, and don't give up. I've had such a long run with trying to find my own art style, and as you can see, some attempts were better and some were worse, but I also thought it was impossible to find it, and now I finally did. And I just need to show you the way I created my first sticker sheet without even Procreate and everything, and look at me right now. I mean, let's talk about the progress, and words cannot even describe how far I came, and I can only see it honestly when I look at my old stuff and think, oh my god, what is that? But yeah, like the bad stuff, bad drawings can always remind you of how you were and how it was and how you made a progress and found your own style, and you can just be proud of that. But of course that is a process, and you just have to practice and practice and practice and keep drawing, not giving up until you see that. I really hope that this video was useful for you, especially when it comes to the very specific tips. But I also hope that I gave you motivation, that you just keep trying and don't give up. Let me know how you liked the video and also comment if you have some additional tips. Bye guys!